and you're listening to Repeat. So for today's topic, we're going to be talking about beauty standards, body image, and how makeup plays a role in all of that for us.
And so for this week, we brought on AP. So she is an MUA, and she also is into fitness. She's going to be having a fitness page. So we had to bring her on because she's definitely the perfect person to talk about this stuff with.
I don't know, beauty is difficult. Like, it's obviously subjective, too.
Yeah.
Because in different spaces, I feel like you have a different experience with being beautiful. Like, I think, like, in a space where we're all with, like, Habesha people, like, you know you're beautiful because they reinforce that within you. Like, I feel like with the girls in Habesha culture, like, every single time you see, like, your family and your relatives are always talking about how pretty you are. But then I think, like, in other spaces, like, say you're in, like, a white space where it's, like, you're obviously the minority, like, you're not going to feel like you're hitting the standard of beauty because beauty is subjective and it changes over time and space.
Yeah, for sure.
In my opinion.
It's not even just race, it's like ambiance. So if I'm with a lot of people who I think dress look really different than me, I definitely start feeling a bit awkward. I feel super out of place. Me and Dita recently went to Barney's, which is like, if you guys don't know, it's just like it's like a patio bar.
Yeah.
And everyone there was just so like bro-y that I felt so out of place. I like came with like Converse that were like kind of dirty. I just like looked more like myself. And I just think not only did our table, but like me specifically looks just so different than everyone else. Even though you don't like logically think you're ugly, it can just make you feel ugly.
Going off of what Dina said before, like with you guys being black and like the standards you guys have, it's like in my community, it's more like I feel like those standards aren't as enforced. Like nobody really tells each other like, oh, you're beautiful and this is enough. We don't really hear that because we grew up like watching Bollywood, so everybody would compare themselves to like these actresses, right? And everybody would be like, you know, even like we also have like the light skin dark skin debate all the time.
Yeah,
it's really strong down there, and it's like, oh, you know, if you're not light skinned, like you're not pretty, nobody's gonna marry you.
Okay, what did Bobo said? She's like, people started accepting me as being pretty when I when I believed that about myself.
But so I do agree
to some extent.
The issue with that is I think that was reality for me. Like when I started feeling like I'm beautiful, I feel like people started to perceive me that way. But a lot of that does come out of pretty people privilege, right? Like if I was someone who was
actually ugly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. Like some people are actually just to the societal standard are not good looking.
Like, not to say that these factors are ugly by any means, but if you're someone who had like a lot of acne, who had like extremely damaged hair, like someone who's extremely overweight, even if I perceive myself to be beautiful in that state, the truth is like but most people won't perceive me as beautiful. And so me being someone who is thinner, who has like clear skin, like all these things, of course I can just say, well, I feel like I'm beautiful now, and all you bitches are gonna follow along, and they did. On the outer state of beauty, I think to some extent it can seem superficial, but also it helps you within your social standing and your economic standing, right? So you're an MUA, and obviously you wouldn't get the job that you have if you weren't good at makeup and you were, looked a certain way.
Right.
Yeah, because you're not going to let someone that you perceive as ugly to do your makeup.
Like, you know, when I'm out and I'm leaving my house, I'm even around the western area, I'm downtown, like, I'm gonna look apart because I'm advertising my face.
Yeah.
I'm advertising the whole look, and I don't want people seeing me all the time with no makeup, and I'd be like, okay, well, I've never seen your makeup.
This past weeks, I've had a handful of job interviews, and I'm not someone who wears like a lot of makeup generally, but I also don't wear makeup every day. But for the whole week, I'm like going to these interviews and like I'm wearing makeup on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I'm like, this is so weird for me. But it's like I can't, and it's not me. It's like not me to be wearing the certain makeup that I was wearing. It wasn't me to like be wearing a blazer or whatever I was wearing. But I can't afford to just be me and be like, I'm beautiful, like hire me, because economically I can't do that.
Working in retail, because I always had retail jobs, like you sell more if you look the part. If you like on days where I'm like, say I'm late to work and I like don't do my makeup, but I'll do my hair. I don't sell as much as on days when I actually like care about how I look and I do my makeup and I like wear a nice outfit, because people want to buy from people that are like pretty and like look good.
But yeah, you don't have to wear it, but when you did, you knew it was doing something.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think makeup in and of itself is a bad thing to like
Yeah, for sure.
use, and like you can wear makeup every day, but like I don't know, I just feel like I feel uncomfortable with it when I feel like I can't go to certain places without wearing makeup.
So like the question is like, how do you know the decisions we're making for your aesthetic is for yourself or for others?
Yeah, I mean,
And does that even matter? Me and Dean were talking in the car, and I was saying it's not even just about jobs, because people will say things like, you know, if you want to attract to certain people in your life, you should just be yourself, or you should look the way you want to look. And I think that's true to a certain extent. But you know, if I'm someone who hates wearing makeup, I look a certain way, like my body looks a certain way, and I know it's preventable, but I'm just like being lazy about it. You know, and maybe I'm not attracting certain people that I want to date, and it's like, oh, they should just like me for me. But it's like, I know if I put on the makeup, if I put in that work on my body, I could have a larger pool of options of people that want to date me. Is that wrong?
I don't think that's wrong.
I don't think so.
Because all you're doing is just bettering yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not putting this like you're not putting like a huge amount of pressure on yourself because you don't think that yourself is enough. It's just like, you know, if I do one or two of these things, like I can get more.
Mm-hmm.
There's like it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, because there's a difference between like being actually like unattractive versus like not putting in
Right.
the work to
Exactly.
look a certain way. Because at the end of the day, beauty is subjective, but it's also very performative, and you're wearing certain things to reap certain benefits.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
like you meet with your professors. Obviously, you're not going to wear a fucking like
You're not.
Fashion Nova bodysuit. You clearly dress the part for certain things,
Yeah.
and I don't think that's a problem.
Watching this Viceland like video on homelessness, and these women would still buy makeup despite them
Oh yeah.
being like having no money. It's because they don't want to go somewhere and get beat up. They don't want to go somewhere and be treated with disrespect. They have to put makeup on so that people can treat them appropriately.
Mhm.
And you know, people would give them money, but like, you're just spending on makeup, you're not getting food, all this stuff. And it's like, makeup for them is survival.
Pretty privilege is fucked up. Like
It's so fucked
it's just
up.
like all like it's classist, it's racist, it's all like every type of discrimination form is like at work in pretty privilege. Because like beauty at the end of the day does equal status, and like if you're beautiful, then you'll have like a higher social status, and then yeah, you can feel more confident because it's like reinforcing itself. You feel more confident because you have that power or that status in society. Yeah.
But do you find that because you worked out to get the body that you have, it's praised more?
A big part of that is like I praise myself
Mhm.
for
Yeah.
it, right? It's so much more rewarding. Like I've been doing it for years, and that feeling is always going to be better than just doing surgery overnight. I think you get a different type of respect.
But arguably, like if someone were to save up all this money to get like a BBL, like is it the same thing? I don't know. Because if let's say I'm working all these extra shifts, I'm like, oh, I need to get that BBL. I'm so excited. My stomach's going flat, my ass
Not
gonna be
gonna be
fat.
fat, yeah.
Rather than like getting, rather than spending this time going to the gym. You know what I mean?
Because like at the end of the day, you're gonna have the same result. But I think that the connotation is that like the person that got surgery hates themselves and wants
oh,
to
yeah,
like
true. That's actually
right,
true.
and wants to like change, like, you know what I mean. But the other person that like worked out is just like kind of bettering their life, and like they're doing it in a way that's like acceptable more.
Yeah, I know you see people in the gym, like even those guys getting big and this and this and that. You like I do wonder. I'm like, does he just like hate himself? Like why is he so? Like,
Yeah.
why are you in here 3 times a day? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm like, you know, people have goals, and that's his goal. And that's okay.
I don't know what we have this qualm with makeup. Do you find that to be a reality, being in
I
any
don't
way?
really see why it's a big deal. Honestly, it comes off at the end of the day.
No, actually,
Like,
these men
so true.
are risking their health yelling about makeup.
And I think
It comes off
I
at the
think
end
we
of the day.
conclude at this point, like, women don't wear makeup for men. I'm sorry, I did not take an hour and a half doing this for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you
Like,
don't
this is
even
for
know.
me.
You don't know the difference. Like
I know.
I think that self-esteem and body image is like very nuanced and it's complicated. And you can say for yourself, like I like getting plastic surgery isn't gonna help me, but you can't say that a procedure won't like help someone else's self-love. You know what
Exactly,
I mean?
yeah.
Like I think it's just it's different for everyone, and I don't think it's okay to like shame people for what they choose to do with their body, because at the end of the day, like life is long as fuck, and like if something's gonna make you happier in your own skin, then do it.
The
Like
thing about Vice is I read this article and it was called 10 Questions You Always Wanted to Ask an Ugly Person. And you know how there's this new wave of the idea of using fat not as a negative connotation. It's just
Yeah,
it is just a thing that certain people are, and it shouldn't be negative, it shouldn't be something that's bad. How do we feel about this person in this article kind of reclaiming this idea of ugly? Like, is ugly always going to be something bad? This one girl, her Instagram is @uglyworldwide, and she is, like, I'm sure a millionaire model.
Really.
Yeah.
It's
And
just
she's
like,
really reclaimed that narrative of ugly, right? Because she's like, I am ugly worldwide, but I'm still booked in Buzzy, I'm still getting all these shoots.
True. It's like how women even say like, oh, he's ugly sexy.
Exactly!
Oh my God,
Okay, Travis Scott. Like,
Oh my god, he's so ugly.
he's a little, some, I don't know, but some people might say he's a little ugly sexy, okay? It works.
But isn't that crazy? I literally
Like,
forgot.
guys can be ugly, sexy.
Yeah.
No one would ever say that about a woman.
Ever.
That's
Ever.
so
Ever.
insane. When you brought that up, I was like, that's so true. I've really heard women be like, I want my man to be ugly.